Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy, helping you get your practice time to be as effective as possible. A while back, I published a video with 5 things to practice every day. This has been helping hundreds of thousands of players get their practice time back on track. What I'm doing now is I'm customizing that routine for players in different circumstances. And today, it's a targeted practice routine for lead guitar players. So if you need to get your lead guitar as professional as possible, I've got the routine for you. But before we get started, to get the most out of these lessons, we need to open up the entire fretboard. Stop playing in just 1 or 2 patterns. So take a second, click the link in the description and download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet. Okay, let's get on to the practice routine. This lead guitar practice routine is structured in 5 parts. Number 1, technique. Number 2, fretboard mastery. Number 3, ear and phrasing. Number 4, repertoire. And finally, improv. These are all geared towards lead guitar players. We're going to be doing a lot of scale work in this, but let's go ahead and get started with our technique exercise. This is a pentatonic technique exercise. We'll be using all of the patterns of the pentatonic scale, and it's a 3-string formula. We're doing little patterns in 3-string each. Plus, we're going to make it a little bit more difficult. We're going to start on the high E string and work our way towards the low E string, and it's in 3/4 timing. Let's take a look at this first one here. So we're going to start at the 7th fret on the G string. Now this is in pattern 1 of the A minor pentatonic scale. Pretty easy. So we're going to start 7, 5, 5, 8. So we're going D, E, A, and then C up top. And then we're going to finish this little phrase off with a 8, 5 on the B string. So we're going G string, B string, E string, another E string, and then back the B strings. All together. Now we're going to take this formula and we're going to apply it to the next set of strings. So instead of starting on 7 of the G string, now we're starting on 7 of the D string. And we're going to take the same approach, but fit it to the scale pattern. So now we have our A note at the 7th fret of the D string. Then we're going to go to the C at the 5th fret of the G string. And then we'll go to E at the 5th fret of the B string. And then we go up to the G note, that's the 8th fret of the B string. Can you see how this is similar to the one before? And then we'll finish it off going back on the next string. This is the G string, 7th fret to 5th fret. That's D to C. So all together. So we're taking this one pattern. So now the next one we're going to do is 7th fret on the A string. This is going to start on the E note, then the G note, that's 5th fret on the D string, then 5th fret on the G string, there's our C, go up to D, which is 7th fret on the G string, back 7, 5, that's A, G on the D string. So far. And we have one left to do. We're going to go down to the 8th fret. This is the C in the A minor pentatonic scale, and we're going to go 5, 5 on the A and the D string. So 8, 5, 5, and then we're going to go up to the 7th fret on the D string. That's our A note, and then come back on the A string, 7, 5, that's E to D, and finally end up on an A note after it's all said and done. And if I put them all together, it sounds like this. So this is just an exercise. We're going from string to string, which is always nice. We're working up, but we're working in our pentatonic patterns. So what this is going to help you do, not only is it going to help our hand-eye coordination, it's going to help you come up with ideas for licks. That could be the beginning of a lick, ending of a lick. You could reverse it. You could do all sorts of different things, but you're getting used to doing different things in these scale patterns than you're normally doing. Let's try this now in pattern 2. Starting 9th fret was the E. We're going to go to, and this is the same formula. We're going to go the back notes. So we're going 9, 8, 8. That's E, G, C, right? And then up to the 10th fret, that is the D note on the high E string. And then we're going to come back on the B string like we did with all the other ones. 10 to 8. That's A to G. This is the same formula as before. Up 3, go to the higher note, and then come back on the B string. Let's try it on the next set of strings here in the second pattern. So we're going to start with our 10th fret on the D string, 10, 7, 8. So that's our C, D, and G. and then we're going to go up to the A on the B string at the 10th fret and work our way back down. This is on the G string now, 9th fret to 7th fret. That's E to D. All together we have. So we're taking the same idea across. Now let's move to our next one. We have the 10th fret. This is going to be our G to A. That's a 7th fret, and then on the D, and then 7th fret on G. Up to the 9th fret, our E, and then back on the D string, this time 10 to 7, C to A. So all together. Now we're going to have our last grouping here. This is going to be on the 10th fret of the low E string. And we're going to, that's our D. We're going to go to the E and the A. Those are both on the 7th fret of the A string and the D string. Up to the 10th fret, C. And then back on the A string this time, G to E, 10 to 7. And we're going to end on the A, 7th fret on the D string. So all together. So practice these at a slow tempo. Find the beats per minute that gives you a little bit of a struggle. Back off a few. And every 2 days, try and bump it up. Maybe 1 or 2 beats per minute. So you'll be pushing the envelope each time you work on this. In the second part of our practice today, we're going to be doing some fretboard mastery. I have a really great exercise. One of my favorite exercises to give to you. These are 1 octave scales with arpeggios. Plus, we're doing these across the C major diatonic chord progression. C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. What we're going to do is play up the scale, the C major scale, starting on the note of the chord. First we'll start on C to C, and then we'll play the arpeggio of that chord right after it. So you're going to hear the chord, you'll hear it on the backing track, you'll be playing the scale that fits, and then you play the strong notes of the chord right after it. So I'm going to show you this over a backing track. You can press pause, take a look at the tab on the screen, and work your way through these one at a time and try to work up to this speed that we're working at today. Okay, part number 3 of our daily practice for lead guitar players, and that is ear and phrasing. What we're going to do is we're going to go and take a listen to one of your favorite songs. Take the solo and learn 1 lick by ear. Just 1 by ear. And from that lick, I would like for you to make 10 different licks. Take that lick and change it. Make it your own. It's very simple to do. You could just have 1 note last longer than it normally does. You could reverse the order of all of the notes or just some of the notes. You could change the rhythms. You could switch the rhythms around. There's a million different ways that you could change that 1 lick, but you learned it by ear and then you changed it to make it your own. We're going to build a bag of these licks that you can play at any time, and they're going to be derived from the sounds that you find the best in guitar. It's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about it in the comments below. In number 4, we're going to start building our repertoire. I bet you can play a lot of parts of different songs, but how many songs can you play from the beginning to the end? This is what you need. This is currency. This is what makes you valuable as a guitar player, being able to play whole songs, not just parts of songs. So if you are, say you're a blues guitar player, go to the standards. 10 of the standards in the style of music that you would like to play. I'd like for you to be able to play those songs from beginning to end. These are lead guitar songs. That means we also have to play the chords. I've been a lead guitar player in band since 1985. I play chords most of the time. I get to play a little bit of lead here and there. It doesn't happen through the whole song. Some songs you do. Some songs you have fills in between the vocals. But for the most part, I'm playing a lot of chords. So we need to learn how to play the chords of those songs. Plus, it's going to help you with your improv. And that's where we're going to next. Finally, in your daily practice, this is part 5, we are going to take a lick and we're going to move it across the different patterns on the guitar. One lick. And we're going to play this one lick 5 different ways in 5 different patterns. So a way that you could do it is you could play the lick and then improv in that pattern, then move to the next pattern and play the same lick, but then play a little bit of improv in that pattern. And as we move up the fretboard, we're going to see how this one lick looks different in all of the different patterns. And sometimes they look pretty similar. But being able to move ideas across the guitar is very, very important. And you'll hear how that same lick sounds different in the different patterns, depending on the string that it's on and whether it's the front note of the pentatonic scale or the back note of the pentatonic scale. The way the notes are ordered make them sound a little bit different as well too. So take a look at what I did here. So if you take a look at this very first lick, there's the rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 4. And all I did was I figured out that lick. That's pattern 1 in E minor pentatonic here. So then I'm going to move over to pattern 2. In E minor pentatonic pattern 2, we're getting the same thing. But it's not as easy to do a hammer on from this one as we did in the other one. Has a different sound. Maybe sliding into it will make it sound a little different. Now let's move up to the next pattern. These are all 1/4s in pattern 3. So we have 4, 7, 4, and then on the G string, and then 5, 8 on the B string. So far, very different sounds, even in these 3 close together patterns. Let's look at the next one. Very different sound. We're on thicker strings. This one lends itself to hybrid picking. Very cool lick right there. And now let's keep moving up. This one's at the 9th fret. This is in pattern 5. And we're doing the inside 2 strings, which are both 1/4. So 9, 12, 9, and then on the D, and then 9, 12 on the G. And then finally, oh, that's a different sounding because of being on the wound strings. We're up to the 14th fret on the A, 12th on D, back to 14 on A, and then 14 on D, and then 12th on G to end it off. So I'm going to do a little improv for you over an E7 backing track, just one chord, and I'm going to play a little bit of each pattern and then improv in that pattern and then move up to the lick again, to the lick again, to the lick again. You'll hear how it goes right now. Thanks for playing along today, and I hope you take this great routine and start fixing your lead guitar problems in your daily practice. Thanks to all of our Academy members over at PlayGuitarAcademy.com who are tearing into the tab and guitar profiles from this lesson right now. And don't forget to download my Big 4 scale pattern worksheet. It's going to make all this easier for you. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice. I will see you in the next lick video.